Here at Gears and Gasoline, we have a lot of cars, about a dozen actually. Typically, you'll watch our videos about us doing upgrades and improving the cars, and sometimes you'll see us put them to the test on the racetrack. But what we don't often see is how difficult it is to keep up and maintain these cars. So in this episode, I'm going to take you through an average day of what it's like to be a YouTube mechanic, what goes on behind the scenes to make sure that these vehicles are always ready for content.
Hi, my name is Mark. Welcome back to Gears and Gasoline. Currently, both Bens are on a road trip and they left me in charge of Gears and Gasoline, and that's a scary thing. Currently, I am heading into the office right now and I'm taking you along with me, show you behind the scenes of what it's like to be a mechanic for automotive YouTubers. So usually Ben and Ben, whenever they go on road trips, they'll leave me a list of things to do to their cars, since they have so many of them. And usually the list that they give me are, something that we don't typically film. But today we're gonna give you an in-depth look of what it's like to be a Gears and Gasoline mechanic.
First order of business today is getting these wheels swapped over on Ben's Evo. Currently, Ben is running my wheels because I took his tires off of his Advans so that I can run at the racetrack.
Hey Mark, that's mine.
Yeah, see,
That's my wheel and tire.
see what happened was,
We got tires back on his Advans, so we're gonna go ahead and swap my wheels out and put his wheels back on because we all love the white on white look. Safety first. So before we throw the last tire onto the Evo, we're gonna go ahead and replace this brake caliper while we're here. We got a new brake caliper, quite a while ago, but we just haven't had time to actually replace it. What is wrong with this one is the bolt on the backside won't receive the torque that we need to give it. So basically the thread is kind of stripped out a little bit. So, because we're here anyway, just go ahead and change it out real quick and that'll be a done deal.
actually, yeah, you could see the whole caliper moving back and forth. And it's not supposed to do that. Scared myself. That's the trouble area. It was right here. It's pretty well stripped. At least we know where the threads went. Right here. So, believe it or not, here at Gears and Gasoline, the most used tool, go figure, is my thread chaser set. So pretty much every project that I've ever worked on here, I've had to take out this set and clean up threads on some OEM hardware. That's all Loctite. Highly recommend the Snap-on thread chaser kit for anybody, everybody. And now I can reuse this bolt. And look at that. It's like the bolt is brand new again. There's nothing wrong with the threads. I didn't have to sit here and try and pick everything out. Like right now we're in the off season, so like not a whole lot is going on as far as projects and anything like that. It's more of the, like this is like the general maintenance season. Like your trucks need to be worked on, your, you know, like small things here and there need to be worked on. But like during the spring, summer, fall, it's, you know, go, go, go. So we have a zip tie on the dipstick for a number of reasons, but the main reason is because we have a built 4G63, so the crankcase pressure is much higher, and we're creating a bunch of boost. It'll actually shoot out that dipstick. So we just threw a little zip tie on there. I mean, they have other methods that you can like put like a spring on there and it like holds it in place, but cheap fix would be to just throw a zip tie on it and it's a done deal. But you have to cut it every time and then kind of make up the length that you need. So that's why that there's a zip tie holding it there, just to make sure that we don't lose it and then possibly lose oil, which this car seems to really love. It's it's crazy. That's like brand new. So taking the Evo out for a little test drive, got the wheels back on, got the new brake caliper on, bled the brakes, so I'm making sure that the brakes work like they should. And then Ben was telling me he I guess felt it breaking up, or it just wasn't running right when he got into boost. So I'm checking that out right now. I'm thinking maybe because the E85 has been sitting for so long, so I'm kind of just driving it around, seeing if I see anything weird with the AFRs, which so far I haven't. Yeah, I think it just needed to be ran a little bit. It could probably use some fresh 85. Okay, seatbelt stuck. Yeah, I mean, we're down to 1/4 of a tank, so I think it just needs some fresh E85 and it'll be good. But see, this is the cool thing, right? Like, I get to drive cool cars like this, like the Talon, like the Type R, even the RX-8, which, rotaries are kind of dumb, but like, I get. And not only that, but like, I see these cars as my own. Like, I treat them like they're my cars. Obviously, if I break them, I gotta fix them too, so. And like, one of the things is like being filmed. right? When I learned how to be a mechanic, obviously I did a lot of YouTube to learn initially, but seeing the process of, you know, going through all these videos, like, it kind of slows you down on the things that you know, need to get done, or like, say, you know, you just put Permatex on something, now you have a certain amount of time to let it dry, but oh wait, we need to film this thing, or we accidentally missed it, we gotta, you know, reshoot it again. Like, sometimes it could be a little difficult, and I don't necessarily want to stop and redo work that I just did, but sometimes you have to, and it sucks. But on the other hand, you know, you do have a pro when it comes to videoing all these things. Is if you forget a bolt or something like that, or you think you forgot a bolt, and we've done this before, we've gone back in the video just to see if, like, hey look, we did put that bolt in, instead of having to tear half the engine down all over again just for one simple bolt, which is, you know, which is really nice. It's very helpful. So.
There you have it, my least favorite car to work on. Over the course of a month and a half, Ben wanted to torment me and drive this car around. You know, in the best interest, it was good because, I mean, this car was not reliable at all. Like, literally day one, it was leaking coolant. Because of that, we made the car more reliable. But now that it's more reliable, it's starting to redeem itself. And we're gonna go ahead and start improving the car as far as drivability. So the first thing that we need to do is go ahead and take off this valve cover, because the gasket itself is leaking. And we didn't have a new gasket available to us, so we had to, you know, wait. And I tried to just make things work with what I had, and lo and behold, it doesn't work. It's leaking a bunch of oil. We got the new gasket in finally, so I'm gonna go ahead and change that. But you know, there's a bunch of areas that, you know, over here it leaked oil. It's leaking all down the side of the motor. So here, down the side of the motor, and it wasn't leaking before. So it's all from this gasket here. You got work to do, man. As you can see right here, seen better days. So I put these baffles in, and it gives me the opportunity to check to make sure all these bolts are still in place, which they are. Nothing's vibrated out. Everything, you know, looks like it's sealed off pretty good. It's kind of a win that I can come back in here and check this out. To improve the drivability even more with the Talon, we're going to install cruise control. We have an aftermarket steering wheel, and usually when you go aftermarket steering wheels, you lose things like cruise control. But I fabricated this bracket so that it can hold the cruise control switch onto the column. So with the research that I did,
A lot of people get rid of the clock springs whenever they go with an aftermarket steering wheel. But what I had to do is I had to modify the hub in order to go in between the clock spring and the splines. I mean, it was just, you know, a big chunk that wouldn't fit in there. So what I did was, you know, I modified this, goes in between there just fine. That way I can keep the clock spring. I want the clock spring so that I can use the wiring for the cruise control, the horn, and also the wires won't get caught up in anything because, you know, it'll have free spin motion. So I thought wiring was the thing that I just hated the most. It is definitely fabrication. Fabrication overtook that, and I didn't even know. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to make something look good or, you know, just function. And it takes me so long just to, you know, cut out something to make it work. I don't think I'll ever be good at fabrication because I've tried my hand at it a few times, and nothing has turned out great. Wiring, on the other hand, I thought I disliked the most, but I'm actually pretty good at wiring. Now let's test this thing and see if it works. It better work. No, it doesn't. Well, that's annoying. So maybe it's missing something else. Sometimes just things don't go your way, and you know, you can be troubleshooting something and you know, you not find out the actual cause or the actual issue. Sometimes I overlook the small things and, you know, it kind of bites me, and I just, you know, I gotta laugh about it. And next up is the RX-8, Ben's crown jewel, if you will. It's been sitting for about 3 months, and it needs to be driven because rotaries don't like to sit. So the first thing I'm gonna do is switch out these summer tires for some all seasons. So another perk about this job is that I am spoiled by a lift, which is, I guess, is also a con, right? I'm so spoiled by a lift that I've even looked up possibly trying to get a lift into my garage. And it's not very big. And back to the stock Mazda wheels. So the RX-8 is running pretty good. I thought I'd give it one last stress test. Doing stuff like this, like I don't do it to the S2000 because it's got some really grippy tires, and actually I guess that's all I got. I mean, my truck, but I'm not gonna do it to that. going on, buddy?
Oh, just doing a tiring road trip. How are things back there? How's the RXC?
It's doing well. I mean, took it out for a spin, today.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you really taking care of that car for me while I'm gone.
Yeah, taking care of the car for you, of course, man.